When you discovered that Daniel was dyspraxic,
Yeah.
what were the things that were going through your mind?
Well, obviously, one was what we were going to do about his behaviour. It was good to find out that he wasn't a bad child. He had something that he wasn't able to control, but it was how we going to work on that. It's also what was going to, where we were going to get help for his schooling. What was the school going to do about it, and what support can they give him? And it was also important to get him actually diagnosed with a consultant, because there are monetary benefits that you can get, which obviously can be very handy to do other things for him. So lots of things, but what exactly did it involve and what help could we get?
Okay. Now, all of that information, sources of help, help for parents to understand things, you've incorporated that in this booklet that you've produced.
I have, yes.
Okay. That booklet, you'll make that freely available to all parents that want it.
Absolutely, because it's so difficult to get all that information together. It's taken me about 5 years or more. In fact, Daniel's 12 now, so probably about 7 years to get to the bottom of a lot of things, and I'm still finding out new information every day, because it's just, there's not one source of it. It's so difficult to get the information and the help you need.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, I've got a targeted question now. I remember it was about 4 or 5 years ago that Daniel was standing at the top of the stairs and throwing anything down the stairs that he could get his hands on. You made some changes at that point. Can you just remember what those were? Because those had a profound effect.
They did, yeah. Well, first thing was obviously we altered his diet, his normal diet, to take out things like a lot of colourings and food additives, because associated with this dyspraxia is actually ADHD as well. But also we came across something called glyconutrition, which we were a bit sceptical about at the time. We didn't really believe it, but we gave it a try. And having given these sort of sweet supplements for probably about 3 or 4 weeks, we didn't really notice any difference ourselves, because we lived day to day with Daniel. It was only when we ran out and didn't bother to buy any more because we thought, nah, it didn't work, that we ran out, and suddenly about 24 hours later Daniel seemed even more hyper than he'd ever been. So we sat down and sort of discussed it and realised that he wasn't any more hyper than he used to be. He'd calmed down a lot, and we'd gotten used to his new level of concentration and activity.
How old was Daniel at that time?
It was probably about 6 or 7.
Right, so early days in school.
Yeah.
How's he done since that time?
He's done a lot better. One thing he didn't used to be able to do was concentrate. That was his biggest problem. He'd be more interested in what everybody else was doing. Teachers loved him to bits, but it's sit down and do your own work, Daniel, rather than walk around everybody else's desk. Whereas once he started on the products, they noticed a big difference. He will actually concentrate on his work. When he gets assessed, he always gets 1 for effort in everything he does, and he wouldn't be able to do that if he wasn't concentrating on the work. So he will never achieve top marks, but the effort is what was important to us, and that's gone on. And even though he's moved to secondary school and life's a bit harder for him, he's still getting the 1s for effort. He's still concentrating on his work.